Hi, everybody, and welcome into the Sporting News Studio. I'm Steven Levine, joined via telephone by Brooke Weisbrod, where we're going to preview both semifinal games in the Women's Final Four. Of course, all of this brought to you by the UPS Team Performance Index. Brooke, we have a couple of exciting games. Let's start with the two #1 seeds, maybe the best rivalry in recent years in all of college basketball, Notre Dame versus Connecticut. Both have outstanding TPI numbers. Notre Dame has had a little bit of an upper hand recently in this rivalry. Do you expect that to continue?
Well, they've won the last three, so I think Muffet McGraw does not want to face UConn. I just think she would much rather see even Louisville or Cal. I mean, for that matter, to beat a team 3 times in one season is incredibly difficult. Now they have to try and do it a 4th time, but do I think Notre Dame would be up for the challenge? Absolutely. Breanna Stewart finally is playing at a level where we all expected her to be. She had 21 against Kentucky. She was named the most outstanding player of the regional. UConn's got great scorers. You know, Kalena Mosqueda-Lewis is probably one of the best shooters in the country, if not the best. I just really like the way that Notre Dame's playing. I picked them to win the national championship. I think the way that they responded coming out of the second half against Duke yesterday, you know, Skylar Diggins was upset because she said, this is the first team that has outworked us. And Notre Dame took a million charges in the second half. They sprinted out in transition. I mean, there were times where I saw Duke players with heaving chests up and down. They were tired. It's just going to come down to making plays with these two teams. They don't like each other. They know every set they're going to run. So that neutralizes all the offensive sets, right? So it just goes out. It's a matter of making plays. They're two teams who pride themselves on defense, and I think we're going to see mostly defense in this matchup. It may not be a game in the 70s or 80s. It might be a 60 to 70-point game. Now,
what could be a game in the 80s is on the other side of the bracket. Louisville has had 2 80-plus point games during their run to the Final Four. It's only their second Final Four in history, but they're facing a Cal team who's never been there. Of course, Louisville's a great story. They upset Baylor. They upset Tennessee. Will they upset California?
They're the Cinderella for the women's bracket. You know, they've been so much fun to watch, and the way that they came out against Purdue in the second round, I left there thinking, wow, I can't believe what I just saw out of Louisville. I mean, this is a team without 3 starters and a limited Monique Reed. They've had 3 kids injured this season. To me, Jeff Walls is a defensive genius, and I say that because he will make in-game adjustments defensively, and he's got a strategy down and a game plan, but he's not afraid to waver from that game plan and make adjustments as he needs to within the set. But you talk about teams that are really dialed in, they're playing loose and free. I mean, we've got these, that explains these two teams right here in Cal and Louisville. No one expected Cal to be here, but I don't think anybody expected Louisville to be here either. But the way that both teams are playing so freely, I mean, they rebound really well, Cal does. They've out-rebounded their opponents by 11 this season. We could have 100 to 90 in this game, and I'm okay with that. I am totally good with that. I just really like the confidence of both of these teams right now. If I had to give an edge, it would be to Louisville based on, you know, riding high from the biggest win in tournament history. To go and do that and to keep your strength and emotions up and to beat Tennessee the next time out, what a huge win for Louisville. That's a program builder, and Jeff Walls just has raised himself to another level.
Well, let's say Louisville does make it into the final game and face your pick, Notre Dame. Only one school has ever won both the men's and the women's tournament in the same year. That was Connecticut. Louisville would have the opportunity to do it this time around. Do you see any possibility of that happening? Do you see Louisville being able to get past Notre Dame?
Sure. I think, you know, we've got 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four from the Big East. So I think Louisville would love the chance to play either UConn or Notre Dame. I don't think they care. I think once you beat a team like Baylor, once you've gotten the wins that Louisville has gotten, they're not afraid of anybody, and they welcome the challenge.
All right. Well, thanks, Brooke. That's Brooke Weisbrod. I'm Steven Levine in the Sporting News Studio. All of this brought to you, of course, by the UPS Team Performance Index.